Instagram. Thank you all for joining us this morning at Mystic Fitness. Good morning, all of our fans out there on Facebook. I'm Erin. Welcome to Mystic Fitness and welcome to Thursday Morning Flow with me. Thank you everybody who's in the studio with me today. It's always a pleasure to have you in class with me. I love drawing off your energy. It's going to make for a really great class today. So throughout our practice, feel free to take breaks anytime that you need to. Feel free to drink water or come into something different than what I'm doing if that feels right to you in the moment. You're welcome to skip anything that doesn't feel right for you today as well. So we'll actually begin today's practice laying down on our backs. So just take yourself into a comfortable reclined position. And most likely wouldn't be very comfortable with your legs all the way straight. If you are, totally fine. But you might notice it's a little bit better for your lower back and just in general to let your feet come to the floor and bend your knees. You could always bring a cushion or rolled up blanket under your knees if you did want to extend the legs for some support. And then whenever you get there, you'll just let your eyes close and start coming into some breaths in and out through your nose. Relaxing your forehead and your jaw. Maybe lifting your shoulders up off the ground and then just inching them a little bit further from your ears and placing them back down. Allow your fingers to find a natural curl as the palms face up. And drawing air in through the nose, down into your belly, letting your belly rise up with breath. And then just simply release. As you breathe in, belly rises. And as you exhale, it lowers. We'll take several more of these slow breaths. Just releasing any thoughts from the mind. Inhaling, expanding the belly, expanding the ribs. And then exhaling any tension, any thoughts that are remaining. And we'll just continue on here, nice and slowly. Just allowing yourself to drop into the body. If you're noticing any places where you're feeling tension, intentionally release that tension with your next exhale. Take one more breath this way, long inhale. And exhale. Let's inhale the same way, big breath in. But to exhale, we'll start to lightly engage the pelvic floor and draw the belly inward. Relax that effort as you breathe in. Belly gets big. Lungs start to open up all the way up into the chest. Exhaling, you begin to lift the pelvic floor gently and draw the lower belly in and up. We'll get several more deep breaths in. And out. Noticing that you're engaging the deep core on those exhales. Not only feeling a little stronger, but notice the support it gives the lower back. You can continue to use that action throughout your practice to keep you stronger and safer as we move. We'll get two more here. And one more. Good. Continue to breathe mindfully, but you can relax that engagement of deep belly. Just allow yourself to relax fully once again. Taking our right hand, we'll place it over the heart. And then the left hand will place over on top of the right. Feeling the beat of your heart beneath your hands. And from our heart centers, we will unite our voices in the sound of Om to mark the start of our journey together today. We'll take one cleansing breath to prepare. Big breath in here. And release it away. And inhaling for your Om. Have a beautiful practice, everybody. Start to bring some gentle movements into the body just by drawing knees lightly into chest, to maybe one at a time is a little easier, especially if you were lengthened fully. And then either wrapping arms around shins or just holding onto the shins with your hands. You'll lightly rock a little bit from one side to the other. And as you do it, fully relax your spine down into the floor and just allow the weight of your legs to start to find a deeper sense of ease through the back body. Take one more breath here. And let it go as you're ready. Nice. Let's take our feet down to the floor, knees bent. Lift your right leg up towards the sky here. We're going to just take the hands behind the thighs, maybe interlacing, and bringing a little movement into the ankle joint, just rolling your foot in one direction. And then the other. You can also point and flex. Feel free to go back the other way at any time. You can even bend and extend your leg at the knee a couple times, keeping your ankle flexed and pressing the heel up towards the sky. When you're ready, you'll then extend the leg back upwards and bend your knee as much as you need to allow your back to fully soften to the floor. And keeping the knee bent, gently start to draw the leg maybe a little bit closer to you, very gently warming and getting into the hamstring. Taking 2 breaths in here. And out, keeping the jaw nice and soft and relaxed. One more. And let's let that foot come down. And we'll give our left leg the same treatment, lifting it up, maybe interlacing behind the thigh, or you can just hold on, bringing some movement into the ankle. Maybe playing a little song with the cracks and the pops in the ankle there. Mine tends to be very loud. You can continue to move the ankle, or maybe you choose to bend and extend your leg at the knee joints. We're just very slowly warming up here. So allow yourself to do what feels best in the moment. At some point, you'll let your leg come back to the sky, bend the knee, and very gently begin to bring the little leg a little closer to you. And if it feels better to reach your hands up a little further to the leg, go for it. It's your practice. We're also trying to draw both hip bones down into the floor to keep the spine relaxed and long. Take one more breath in. And out. Dropping that foot to the floor, we'll find a few bridges here. Hands come down to the ground alongside you. Feet are underneath your knees, just about hips width apart. You can even take them a little further away from you if that feels best. We'll take an in-breath to prepare. And as you exhale, hips lift up. Try to roll up through each vertebra of the spine, not necessarily to your highest height. And then we'll inhale and roll our way back down. Exhale, lift and roll your way up. And then inhale, we'll roll our way down. Adding the arms this time around. Exhale, lift hips. Arms sweep up and reach long and back. And then we'll roll gently down on the inhale. Arms come back down as well. Let's get a few more. Inhaling, exhaling to lift up, and inhaling to roll down. Let's exhale and lift up. This time we'll stay there for a moment. Allow your arms to land back behind you if that feels okay. Relax your shoulders down to the floor. Your choice to reach more with the arms or relax them. Continue to press into the feet here. Let's take one last inhale, stretching a little longer. And this time we will exhale all the way back down. Widening your feet towards edges of mat. Arms can come out to the side a little wider. Let's just take the knees from side to side to gently twist through the spine a bit. Windshield wipering out the knees. When you're ready, and no sooner, knees will land over to one side. Allow them to stay there in this wide twist. We'll take 3 breaths. Two more. And one more here. Inhaling, knees come up through center. Exhale, allow them to land to the other side. 3 breaths in and out. And in and out. Last one. As we inhale, we'll bring the knees back up. Knees come into chest. You can wrap your arms around the shins or hold the shins and rock side to side. Or if you'd like to try rocking forward and back, take your arms behind the thighs and rock a bit forward and back here. You can get a big rock that tips your toes up towards the floor, or a small one. We're going to eventually make our way up to standing. So if you're rocking side to side, you can roll off to the side and just gently stand up, or take that forward and back rock and stand all the way up. Coming into mountain pose at the top of the mat here, we will simply pause. Feet come underneath hips. Palms face forward, shoulders drop down. One breath in. And out, eyes can close. Opening our eyes, we'll come into our first flow of the morning. Arms will stretch up on the in-breath, gaze lifts. As you exhale, bend your knees and gently fold down to the earth. We'll inhale for our half lift, engaging the belly firmly. Exhale, hands come down, and we'll just walk our way back to downward facing dog. We'll take a moment in this first dog before we flow, bending one knee at a time, to just stretch out through the back line of the body, giving each leg time to warm up a little bit just by pedaling the feet. Every time you're on your hands, you want to really grip your fingertips into the mat. This will help not only strengthen your hands, wrists, and forearms, but also take some pressure off the wrists and the shoulders. We'll start to still the feet now and bend your knees a little, or maybe a lot. Start to engage the low belly a bit, lightly drawing the belly into the spine and lengthening nice and long here. Last breath here. Coming into our first waved plank. Knees bend maybe a little more on the inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, we will curl and roll into our plank position. Inhale as you hold here. Exhale, drop your knees and gently lower down to the floor. Thighs, belly, and then chest. We'll take a cobra here, hands right next to the shoulders or to the chest. Tuck your chin, inhale, lift up with the strength of your back. You can look straight down towards the ground. And then exhale, roll it back down. Get 2 more. Inhale, lift up with the strength of your back. And exhale, slowly come down. 1 more time. So here we're waving through top spine and coming back down. We'll make our way up this time and pause at the top of the in-breath. Exhale, lift up onto hands and knees using low belly. Curl the toes. Back to downward facing dog we go. Couple of breaths in. And out. Trying to roll the shoulders away from each other to further stretch into the upper back. We'll make our way back to the top of the mat now, so let's bend our knees, look forward as you breathe in. Exhale, begin to walk your feet up to the hands. Inhaling for your half lift, and exhaling, folding down. Let's rise, extended mountain, sweep up as you breathe in. Exhale, hands find heart center. Coming into our chair, feet are hips width apart here. Start to lightly engage that deep core line once again. We'll take the arms up on the in-breath, and then as you exhale, we will sit the hips back, and you can reach the arms forward at first to help counteract the hips coming back. I like to think that I have a little strap on my hips, helping pull them back a little bit. Then we're going to take the arms out to the side in these cactus arms. So we're doing a little opening up in the chest here. Pull the elbows down as if they're hitting a shelf. So you're finding some strength here in the upper back. 2 breaths in. And out. 1 more round. Nice. Let's inhale all the way up and sweep tall. Exhale, bow forward, and let's find our flow. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, hands plant, and we step our way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees to lengthen spine. Exhale, wave to plank. We'll inhale here. Exhale, either to the floor or knees down, chaturanga, keeping the belly strong and pausing here, hovered. Inhale, either back to cobra or maybe an up dog, lifting the thighs. And then exhale, take it on back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And out. 2 more breaths here. And last one. On your inhale, let's take the right leg high to the sky. Option to bend your knee to open up the hip. You want to make sure that you are pressing your right hand down just as firmly as the left. On your next breath in, take your leg up high to the sky, back to 3-leg dog, leveling hips. Exhale, knee draws into the nose for your tiger curl. Pause for a moment, belly hugs in nice and strongly. And then step to your hands. We're going to drop the back knee today to come to low lunge first. And let me grab my blocks. And if you have some, you might bring them underneath your hands, or you can bring your hands down towards earth. We're just going to inhale here in the lunge position and exhale, bow down. Maybe 2 more. If your body wants more or less, it's cool. It's your body, right? It's your business. I think I want 1 more, right? And then we'll come down to pause here as we bow forward. Tuck the chin a little bit. You can bring a little movement into your head if that feels good, or you can just let your head be. Getting a nice stretch through the back of the right leg. 1 more breath in. And back out. Let's inhale back to our low lunge. Curl the toes under. Keep your hands on the blocks if you have them. And then we'll find our twist by sweeping the right arm up to the sky. I'm going to circle this top arm around a few times. Let's take an inhale to prepare. As you exhale, let it come back. The back knee might dip down. Inhale, circling it around. Exhaling it back and down. So that back knee can stay lifted or let it find a little movement. You can just let your body decide. Don't overthink it. 1 more circle here. And then we'll let the circling arm lift us back into twist. Feeling free to move your feet a little bit if you feel like they're too far away from your hands. Gaze might come up to the sky or down towards mat. Take 1 more breath here. We're coming up to high lunge. Take a breath in. As you exhale, hand circles back. Inhale, circle it around, and that will lift you up into your high lunge. Beautiful job, everybody. We're going to add cat-cows here. Find those cactus arms again. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, curl, lower belly hugs in. Back knee takes a dip. Inhale, open up. Exhale, curl. Try to come straight down. Last two. Every time you curl in, pelvic floor, low belly lifts in. Let's open back up to our crescent, arms up, shoulders draw down the back. Back knee might be a little bent, or you can extend it back. You play around with your perfect position today. 2 breaths in here. And back out. 1 more round. Last breath in. Exhale, 2 hands come to frame the front foot and step your way back. Downward facing dog. Now just take a moment here to check in with right and left side, noticing any differences between the two. And we're going to make our way to that same sequence on the left. So let's sweep the leg up. Exhale, left knee bends maybe to open the hip. Try to stack the hip over on top of the right. 1 more breath here. Inhaling back to 3-leg dog, leveling the hips out. Exhale, knee curls into chest. Low belly takes it up there. And then we'll step to our hand. Drop the back knee so we can start slowly and easily. Maybe hands on blocks, whatever height works for you. Inhale here, and exhale, bow it down. If this bothers your back knee at all, you could always take a little cushion under the knee, a block, or just roll up the back of the mat or edge of the mat in. Of course, you could always work with the knee lifted. Let's pause now, bowing forward, finding a nice stretch through the hamstring. Using the blocks or not. Tucking the chin. Head can find a gentle side-to-side movement. Last breath. We'll inhale back to lunge, bending the knees. Curl the back toes under. Hands are on the blocks here if you have them, and lift your back knee. Coming into our twist, we'll sweep the left arm up to the sky. Settle in with the exhale. Getting ready to circle. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach back. Back knee might dip. Let your gaze follow your hand. And let your elbow bend as much as it wants, particularly as it's reaching forward. And 1 more of these. And then you'll come into twist. Lift the arm up. Try not to rely on the block too much, so your right hand is just pressing away from block or floor. Strong legs, strong core, keeping you here. Maybe you're looking to the stars because that's where you're at today. Or maybe you need to feel a little more grounded and you look to the ground. 1 more breath in. And out. Inhale, prepare to come up. Exhale, circle your left hand back. And then as you inhale, it circles forward. And we'll come into our crescent lunge. Back heel stays lifted. Cat-cows here. Inhale, open up. Exhale, curl and dip. As you're curling and dipping, try not to bow forward so much. We're going to try to come straight down, belly hugs in. Last one. And then we'll unwind the arms into crescent. You want to keep some space in your shoulders. So you're kind of pulling the arms down a little bit. Wide open, happy fingers. All of your energy just radiating through the body. 1 more breath in and out. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to the front foot. Step your way back. Downward facing dog. Taking a big inhale. And exhale. 1 more. Let's find our way back to plank. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, wave there. Deep core gets a little extra work. We'll pause here for a moment in high plank. And then we're going to take it down into a forearm plank. So you can either drop your knees first or keep them up and drop the right arm down onto the forearm and then the left. You can keep arms parallel to edges of mat and spread the fingers wide, gripping just like down dog. Or you can interlace under your nose. I find I feel stronger with my palms on the floor, but everyone is different. 2 breaths here. 1 more. We'll press our way back up to high plank, right hand, and then the left. And we'll drop the knees to the edges of the mat, big toes touch. Come on back to child's pose for a few breaths. Allow your forehead to just rest on the ground, or you can bring a block underneath or fold your arms underneath. Just feeling the energy moving through you. Taking another 3. Another 2. And 1 more. Coming back onto hands and knees as you breathe in. We'll then curl the toes under and lift the hips up to downward facing dog on an exhale. Coming to the front of the mat here, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, walk the hands, or feet to the hands. I was looking at my hands there. Inhale halfway. Exhale, soften and fold it down. Let's rise with breath, sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart. So we're just going to play around standing and moving a little bit in balance here. So we'll just start in a mountain pose. Palms can come down for a moment, just as you really find mountain. Shoulders soft, arms just hanging down, lightly engaging pelvic floor and low belly, very gently there. And then we take our hands back to heart center in prayer. And balancing on your right leg. Let's lift the left knee up, flex your ankle, open it around and down. So just kind of circling out the hip as we balance. And just 1 more there. And then we'll just keep the knee up for a moment, lift nice and tall. Just simply drop it down. You can release your hands. And we're just going to do that same little warm-up on the other side. Hands come to prayer as you're ready. Actively press down into left leg. Right leg comes up. Flex the ankle. Move it open, around. Maybe tippy-toe the toe towards the ground. And some days this works for me. Some days it doesn't, right? It always depends on lots of different things. How you slept maybe. Water intake. Stress level, everything comes into play. We're going to stop when you're ready. Lift the knee up just for a moment. Try to stand nice and tall. And we're just going to drop that back down. Cool. Coming to the top of the mat here, if you moved, we'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, let's fold here. Grabbing opposite elbows, allowing the head to be heavy. This is your ragdoll. I bend my knees quite a bit so that I can rest my just torso on the legs. You can move a little side to side if it feels good, or just hang out down the middle. Deep breaths. You want to fill the belly, fill all the way up into the upper back and shoulders. Complete release. 2 more here. One more. Okay, let's release our grips. Inhale, rise all the way up. Sweep the arms extended, mountain palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center, coming into eagle pose, balancing on right leg. Let's start by sweeping the arms up overhead as we breathe in. As you exhale, we're taking the right arm underneath the left. Try to wrap it around, backs of arms touch, hands might touch. If you're at home, it's not working, you can always grab shoulders. Let's come back to chair, engaging pelvic floor, starting to sit the hips back. Just a tiny chair, not a huge one. And then now it's the right leg that wants to come up and over. Taking a few breaths in and out. You can wrap your leg completely behind, or toe can kind of hang. We're going to step this leg to the back of the mat now through an Eagle Warrior 3, lifting your leg up and off. Start to send it back. Now you can stay for a moment in your Warrior 3 if it's working, or just take your foot down to the mat at any time and just lengthen here. And then eventually we'll just let that foot land, still keeping those eagle arms for a moment. And take a breath in, unwind the arms, stretch up. Exhale to your Warrior 2 on your left leg. We're going to dance our Warrior 2s today. So let's take a breath in, arms sweep up, pick up your left toes, pivot on the heel. Exhale to the other side. Inhale through the middle. Exhale back to Warrior 2 on the left. We'll do that again. One more round, just starting to open up the hips a little bit more. Last one. And then we'll come back to the middle and open the arms wide. We're coming into Goddess, so take the heels in, toes point out, and just start to sit yourself down. You want to make sure that the spine is long and the knees don't start to come forward. So that might mean that you're bowing forward just slightly. Then we're going to take the arms up here, not interlacing, but thumb and forefinger touch here. Tips of the fingers making that connection. Making sure the knees don't start to come forward. If they are, just take the hips back. It's okay to lean a little forward here. We've got 3 breaths in and out. 2 more. 1 more. Inhale, come about halfway up. Exhale, slide down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, slide down. Couple more. Inhale, just halfway up. Exhale, slide down. Last one. Inhale, halfway. Slide back down and pause. 1 breath in. And out. Nice holds, everybody. Let's come to 5-pointed star. Inhale, straighten out the legs. Heels pivot out. Arms open up. Exhale here, just staying, opening. 1 more breath in. Exhale, bend your knees and begin to gently bow your way forward. And let yourself stay right here. Shaking your head a little side to side maybe. Knees are bent as much as they need to be. You could always take your hands onto a block. One more round. We're going to take this side to side a little. So we'll inhale, lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, we'll walk the hands over towards the right leg. And just pulling yourself a little closer to that leg. You can hold on to the back of the leg with either your right or your left hand. Or maybe hands are on blocks, whatever feels best. One more here. Let's inhale through the middle to switch sides. Exhale over towards the other leg. Inhaling long and slow. Releasing. 2 more. And one more. Let's come back to the middle. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Last one, knees soft. Let's inhale again, halfway. Exhale, hands draw onto hips, lower belly strong. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. And we'll relax our hands down. We're going to come back to Warrior Two on the left. So pick up the left toes, pivot on your heel, and then spread your wings. Your gaze will come to the thumb. Remembering not to really reach the whole torso here, so that's more of an extended side angle position for the body. You want to make sure your knee doesn't start to drop in. It's just directly in line with the toes. One more breath here. Flipping the left hand, inhale, reverse. Exhale to your extended side angle, bringing your forearm onto the thigh. Reach up to the sky here. Option to continue to reach up. If you prefer to reach forward, you can lengthen your arm towards your ear. Try to turn your palm to face behind you, and then take the shoulder down and away from the ear. So always trying to take the shoulders down the back a little bit. We are here for another 3 breaths. You can spend them all here, or if you like to add half bind for the last few, you'll turn your palm to face behind you, bend the elbow, and place the back of your hand into the small of your back. Pressing away from the front leg with your forearm. One more breath in, and out. Arm back to the sky. Inhale, sweep up and back. And exhale, we'll cartwheel through vinyasa here. Step your foot back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, lengthen spine. Exhale, wave your plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale, either to the floor or knees down, chaturanga. Inhale to a cobra or up dog lifts the thighs. We're going to stay here for a moment. Really press away from the floor, nice long spine. And then on your next exhale, we'll make our way up and back to downward facing dog. Coming back to the top of mat to start again. Inhale, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, walk, or you could always hop the feet if you're up for it today. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. That was a beautiful inhale I just heard. Love it. Let's rise all the way up with breath. Inhale. Exhale, hands, heart, center. Coming to eagle. Let's take the arms up on the in-breath. As you exhale, we're taking the left arm underneath the right. Press the elbows into each other. Lift and engage pelvic floor. Baby seat here. When you are ready, we are taking the left leg up, over, and across. Try to point your knees and your elbows forward. Last few here. One more here. Preparing to step the foot back. Begin to unwind it and press it back. Maybe coming through Eagle Warrior 3. Maybe not. Last few moments. One more. Foot lands to the back of the mat. Take an inhale, release the arms up. And exhale, opening up to Warrior 2 on the right. Let's pick up the right toes, pivot on the heel. We're coming into a Malasana Squat instead of Goddess on this side. So you're going to take your feet a little closer together, and the toes can still point out. We'll bow forward to get into it a little bit more gently. So we'll take a breath in, arms sweep up. As you exhale, bend your knees, begin to bow forward, but take that squat, hands come to the floor, then begin to drop the hips down. Now you might be comfortable. Everybody here in class looks fairly comfortable. You can just stay here, hands come to prayer. But most of us, especially if you haven't been practicing much yet, you might want to sit on a few blocks. And even if the other way feels good, this can sometimes just feel better. Keep your spine long. I'll show you a way to deepen it if you wish. You can start to walk your hands a little forward, gripping the floor. This is a nice stretch all the way down through the spine, down into the QL. It's a nice deep core muscle there in the lower back. Last few. And one more. If you're reaching forward, start to walk the hands back to where they started. And we're going to get our way back up to standing. Hands come to prayer here. Either standing all the way straight up from here, or if it's better, you can bring your hands down to help yourself stand up that way. On and in breath. Let's see how we do. Press it up. Nice work. Now relax the hands. We're coming back to Warrior Two, this time on the right. So you spread your feet out a little wider. Generally speaking, it's about under your wrists if you were to take the arms out. We'll then take our right toes and point them forward and open it up. Breathing in and out. And in and out. Flipping the front palm, inhale up and back. Exhaling to your extended side angle on the right. Arm variations include reaching up by the ear with internal rotation and then drawing the shoulder down the back. Or you can go right into your half bind right away. I'm going to take one more breath here myself, but you do you. We have about 3 more breaths to go for half bind. I like to reach up first, turn the palm back, then bend the elbow to take the hand to the lower back. Last couple here. One more. Let's inhale the arm to the sky. Exhale, stay. Inhale, sweep up and back to reverse. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Step your way back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in and out. One more. Okay, inhale, look forward, knees bend. Exhale, walk or take a hop of the feet to the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold it down. We'll take a breath in and out. One more. Inhale to extended mountain. Press away from the floor with your feet. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands heart center, stand nice and tall. So our final standing pose today will be a standing figure 4. Balance, standing with your feet directly underneath the hips, palms open and facing forward. We'll begin by taking the arms up as we breathe in. As you exhale, sit to a baby chair with hands at heart center. Begin to lift and engage the belly. We will balance on the right leg first, so we'll take the left leg up. Cross the ankle over and stay here. You could always grab your foot and adjust it. Maybe bending, standing me more or less, deepening your seat. Option to stay or begin to bow down, maybe a little more gracefully than that, but hey, it's all good, right? Head can be heavy here as you shake it a little side to side. You're using the chest to open up the hips more if you're bowing down. One more. And then to come back up, we'll reverse it. So if you bowed forward, bend the standing leg. Hands come back to heart center in prayer. And then slowly stand your way up. And release. It's definitely my head on that one, standing on this double mat. Makes it hard to balance. But I feel great. Let your eyes close in mountain pose. Take it all in. And we'll open them up and just try the other side. Inhaling, arms all the way up. Exhaling, hands come to heart center as you sit to a baby chair. This time bouncing on left. Take the right ankle. Cross it. Reach down if needed. Arms can come out if needed too, right? Steady yourself here. Coming down into your fold when and if it seems appropriate. Making any adjustments needed. Last few here. Deep inhale. And exhale. If you bowed forward, prepare to come up, bend your knee. Take your hands back to prayer and slowly stand up and release your foot as gently and as slowly as possible. Come back to mountain pose, maybe eyes closed. Just letting all of that integrate throughout the body. And one more breath. Let's open our eyes. And from the top of the mat, we will find a flow here. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, bend your knees, bow your way down. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, walk it back to down dog. Plant your hands and just take the feet back. Take your right leg to the sky. Breathe it in. Exhale, knee into the chest. Step to your right hand. We're going into a warrior one. Drop the back heel. And then inhale, lift yourself up. Open the shoulders. I'm going to humble this one. We'll begin with an inhale to lengthen upwards. Exhale, arms out and around, interlacing behind you. Inhale, roll the shoulders open. As you exhale, we'll bow to the inside of the right leg. Breathing. Pressing into the outer edge of the back foot and into the ball of the front foot, right at that place where the big toe is meeting the foot. Chin is tucked in here, another two. And one. As you inhale here, lengthen the spine and drop your hands to the floor. Coming into lizard, we're going to take the hands to the inside of the right foot, walk that foot out a little, and then drop the back knee down to the ground. You can take your back knee as far back as feels good. If it's not very comfortable, you could bring either a block or roll the edge of your mat in. And then from wherever you are, right toes might point out a little bit more, possibly coming onto the outer edge of the right foot. And we'll either just stay right here, or if you can come a little deeper, you might come down to forearms on some blocks here. Or some of you that are pretty open in the hip joints can take your forearms down to the ground. Try to relax whatever's not needed to support you. Maybe allowing your eyes to close. Three breaths. Two more here. One more. If you're on your forearms, come gently back up onto your hands. going to curl the back toes under and lift the knee. And take your right leg back to down dog, step it on back. Pedal out feet. Take a moment in your still dog, engage pelvic floor, low belly, lengthen spine, maybe bending knees a little. And then we'll do the other side, inhaling, lifting the left leg all the way up. Exhale, taking the knee into the chest, pausing, stepping to your hand, back heel, drop securely down, feet are about hips width apart. Inhale up to warrior one. Exhale, shoulders open up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, out and around to interlace. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, bow down, engaging deep core, tucking chin. Playing around with your edge of stretch. Last two. Last one. Inhaling for a little half lift as you drop the hands to the front foot. Hands to the inside of your foot as you walk the left foot out to the left. And then you can just drop the right knee down. Left toes point out to the left, maybe coming onto the edge of the foot. You can roll on and off a few times, decide how you want to be. And then either staying up on your hands or coming deeper if it's appropriate. You can always try something if you're unsure. No need to stay in a place that doesn't work. That includes coming completely out of this pose if needed. So if you feel here in the body, feel and hear, even the tiniest twinge of your body saying, I don't think so, you want to go ahead and follow that intuition. Last few. Last one. If you're on your forearms, make your way back up onto the hands. Curl the back knee under, or toes under, and lift your knee. Take your leg back to downward facing dog. Walk and pedal it out. One more breath in and out. Let's drop the knees down to the ground, lengthen towards this diagonal plank, knee down plank. And then slowly lower the thighs, the belly, and the chest down to the floor. Let your arms just lengthen alongside you so you're relaxed. You can face your head either right or left, either just staying nice and long and still, or it might feel nice to bend your knees and just let your feet flap a little side to side. You come into a couple of poses here on the belly, straightening the legs back out again. Forehead down, chin down, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Arms are still long to the side, but you might reach them out on a bit of a diagonal here. Take an inhale to prepare, and then as you exhale, let's lift the shoulders, chest, maybe the feet, and the thighs up off the ground. You could always take the legs back down if that felt better for you. You want to try to lengthen through the crown of the head all the way down to the toes. So no need to really look forward and crank back of the neck here. Stay here for another two. One more full round. On this inhale, there's a chance to fly a little higher. And exhale, let yourself come all the way back down. Turn your head the other way. Let your arms find a place that feels totally comfortable. And then we'll take our very last one. Take your forehead or chin down once again. Interlace hands behind you. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lift up chest, feet, maybe thighs. Toes are open and happy. Stretching them out. Last two. Last full round. Final in-breath. And exhale, release. If one side of your neck feels like it needs a stretch, just intuitively face your head that way. Or you can fold your arms up underneath your forehead and just be. Either just staying here for a moment to let your spine lengthen, or windshield wipering out the knees if that feels good for you. One more breath in and out. We're going to push ourselves up onto our knees just to roll over onto the back. So you can just roll yourself on over. Knees come into the chest once again, just like we began. Allow a little bit of a side-to-side rock to start to melt yourself down into the ground. We're going to take our hands onto the knees here. We're going to circle the legs together. So this is going to require that you engage your core. So with the legs pressed together, we're going to inhale, press the knees a little away, and then circle them to one side, into the chest, and then out towards the other. So it's a little gentle core work here, just to help stir the knees. And if you didn't have your hands, you would see it's mostly the core doing the work. You could bring your hands down to the floor to help steady you a little. Or you can keep them on your knees. It's a little bit more challenging. We'll take one more. Oh, the breath sounds so good in here. And we'll just start to circle them in the opposite direction. And if you haven't taken your hands down to the floor and you're feeling a little unsteady, go ahead and give it a try. It's actually really cool. Love the way this one feels. Very subtle little core work here. Rocking from one hip bone to the other. And then we'll just take both knees in for a little squeeze. And then coming in for our final little bit of core work here. We're coming into our eagle crunches. Take your legs, bend them so that your knees stack right over the hips. We'll take the right leg over first this time. So we'll cross that right thigh over. Maybe hook your foot behind your calf. And just keep your legs up off the ground. We'll then find eagle arms. Reach them up to the sky. Right arm under left. Bend the elbows. Forearms parallel with the ceiling. We're going to get 12. Here we go. Exhale to crunch it up. 12, 11, 10, 9. I'll just count nice and silently. See if it's better or worse. I don't know. Almost there. Last 3, 2, and 1. Hold this one up for a moment. Hold the contraction. And then completely release your arms and legs. Let your feet drop to the floor. Feet about hips width apart. Just for a second, we're going to just windshield wiper them side to side. Just about twice. And then we're going to do the other side eagle crunch. Knees lift parallel. Take the left leg over and across. We're trying to keep the knees bent and calves parallel to the floor. Left arm under right. Take an in-breath to prepare. Here we go. 12, 11. Keep going. Exhale, lift, lift. For halfway down. Down to 4, 3, 2. Hold this last one up. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And release all the way down. Relax your legs. Couple of windshield wipers there. This time we're going to let the knees land over to the right side and stay. Arms wide open. To make this a more intense stretch, pick up your right ankle and place it over on top of the left, just on the outer thigh, outer knee. And just be. Breathing in and out. 3 more breaths here. Last 2. Final 1. Ankle comes off the knee. Put both feet back to the edges of your mat. And then we'll just windshield wiper the knees to the other side. You can go back to the right for a moment if you want. Then we'll land them over to the left. Allow yourself to just be as you are. Or lift up the left foot. Place the ankle to the outside of the right leg. We're inhaling down into the belly, all the way up through the ribs. And out. Just relaxing your face here. Relaxing your heart. One more round. Slide the ankle off, and we can again windshield wiper just once or twice. And then bring your feet back to the floor with the knees facing the sky. We're coming into a figure 4 here on our backs, crossing the right ankle over on top of the left leg. A couple of options include just staying here. I'd like to add a little spinal traction as soon as I arrive into this pose by taking the heels of my hands right into the hip creases and just gently pressing away at the tops of the thighs. That helps me separate the vertebra of the low spine a little bit. You could stay here for the duration. Another nice way to make this a bit more intense is to take your left foot and put it on a block and press actively into the block. I also like to interlace my fingers behind the left thigh and start to draw the legs in. I generally explore more than one option as I'm in an asana. Not every time. So every day is a new day, and I just kind of let my yoga take over the body and the mind. Circling the left knee a little bit in both directions can also feel nice to just add a little extra opening. We've only got 3 breaths left here, so you might take them in stillness. You take them in any way that feels best. One more. To release, we'll drop the left foot down if you lifted it, and both feet ground to the floor. Crossing left ankle over on top of right, making your way through the progression on this side, possibly starting with that spinal traction if you liked it. If you didn't like it or couldn't feel it, it might just be that it didn't work today or at that time, so you could try it again. You have to press down into the pelvis, not just into the thigh there. And if you're going for any other option, you can make your way, maybe interlacing all 10 fingers underneath the right leg and drawing both knees towards the chest. Possibly inviting those gentle circles, circling one way and the other. That same sensation that we did with both knees in, feeling that little rock hip bone to hip bone. And then spending our last 3 breaths in whatever way serves you. You can actively press your left ankle a little bit more into the right leg to get a deeper stretch in the hip. Just all kinds of ways we can kind of tweak the pose to get where we want to be. One more breath here. to come out. If you lifted up your right foot, take it down, and then place both feet down on the ground. Coming into a bridge, hands alongside the body here, walking your feet just under the knees and no closer. Inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, lift yourself up. This time you might be able to go a little higher, so just notice. Possibly walking the shoulders closer to each other under you so that your strong shoulders are supporting the body. Can either just take the hands flat to the floor and press, or maybe interlacing fingers under you if you like that sensation. Sides of the hands will press actively into the mat here. We'll stay for several breaths. If it starts to become too much, come right back down and just let your spine be long on the ground with knees bent. Last few here. Noticing a softening in the front part of the body, hip flexors, and strengthening through the back chain. Almost there if you're still with me. Final breath in and out. Inhaling, we'll sneak the shoulders back out, and then exhale one vertebra at a time back down to the floor, taking the soles of the feet together as the knees just gently drop out into reclined bound angle. Arrange your arms in your Shavasana position, so letting the shoulders be as far away from the ears as they can comfortably be, maybe even walking them up and down a little further. Then letting the arms rest here with the palms facing up and the fingers just naturally curled. I'm going to turn the lights down for our students in studio today, so we'll be right back with you. Inhaling belly to chest. Exhaling chest down to belly. Feeling the belly rise. Feeling the air move all the way up to fill the heart space. And releasing. Five breaths more. Four more. Three more. Two more here. And one more. Coming into a gentle inversion here, take your feet back to the ground. If you have your block, you will lift your hips, slide your block just on the lowest height most likely, although some of you might like a medium height. If you don't have a block, you can just keep your hips down, and then you'll lift one foot up to the sky, followed by the other. And if anybody did go for the higher block under the hips, the trick to make it not tip on you is to just bend the knees in over the chest first to help you balance, and then reach the legs up. In either case, as soon as you hit your position, you'll relax as much as possible, allowing the heart to rest a bit here. Instead of having to pump the blood all the way down and then back up the legs into the heart, gravity is just helping get that blood back. pulling the whole chest with blood and energy, oxygen. We'll be here for 3 more. And 2 more. And 1 more. Good. Now staying up on your block, if you have it there, bend your knees, bring your feet to the ground. If the block is on medium, switch it to lowest height. If it's on lowest height, you're just going to keep it there. We'll then take our right knee into the chest, interlace on your shin, and then stretch the left leg long. You might move your grip a little closer down towards the ankle, so it's several inches below the knee. This is your wind relieving posture. Up on the block, it gets a little bit of a deeper stretch into the psoas muscle. We'll take nice long breaths, using your strong arms to pull the right knee up and your strong legs to push the left heel away. One more. Right foot drops down, knees still bent. Left knee comes into chest. Find that interlaced position, a little closer towards ankle maybe. Take your knee in towards your chest, maybe clearing the rib cage first and then drawing it back into center. And then straightening out that right leg if you haven't already, flexing the ankle, pulling the right toes towards you. Active stretch between the legs for now. 2 more. One more. Now we'll release both legs long, so we'll let go, stretch both legs long, both arms reach back. Can totally just relax your body here, let your block hold you up, or if you're without the block, totally fine. 2 breaths in and out. One more. And then making our way into our final pose, you can bend your knees, taking the feet to the floor so that you can now remove your block. Allowing yourself to find Shavasana, either keeping the knees bent like we did in the beginning and maybe just walking the feet a little further apart so that the knees can just naturally knock in. Just kind of hover in space there. Or if it feels okay, if it feels good, to extend the legs long here, then you can give that a go. Start to scan the body from the forehead, slowly down through the neck, chest, arms, torso, and legs. Readjusting and releasing areas of tension in the body as you go. And then when you feel super comfortable, we'll just allow ourselves to really be here in the moment. Maybe starting with pranayama, mindful breathing, to help keep the monkey mind quiet. If you're feeling able to drop in today and your mind is fairly quiet, then maybe you release all effort in your breath as well. Allowing yourself to completely be at rest. We notice the sensations, we notice the thoughts.
but we don't pay them much mind. We just allow them to be there as we take our last few moments together. We've got a few more moments to be. If you're noticing you're getting antsy and excited to get up, that's just something to notice. Maybe we're so used to moving from one task to the next that allowing ourselves to not do that is very difficult for us, maybe harder than any balance. So it's just as important to practice balance, flexibility, and strength as it is to practice completely releasing. Last few moments together. And one more. I invite you, dear students, to just stay as you are, to find the last moments of class here together. Simply bringing a little movement into your hands and feet, maybe wiggling toes, rolling wrists or ankles. At some point, without rushing, we will once again place the right hand over our heart and the left hand over the right. Paying honor to the you that resides deep within, and remembering to let her or him shine. Ending with the sound of Om, we'll take our cleansing breath to prepare. Big in breath. Let it go. And inhaling for Om. I thank you all so much for joining me this morning and for allowing me to guide your practice. The love and the light in me honors the love and the light in all of you. Namaste. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Instagram. Thank you, dear yogis in studio today. Have a great day.